This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 514. The Best Things I've Learned About Raising Children, Part 1, by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. Howdy, OLD friend. I'm your host, Joss Marie, and welcome back to the show that covers everything that falls within the category of relationships, including dating, marriage, parenting, family, you name it. And today I'll be narrating the first half of a post by productivity expert Babauta. And in case you didn't know, Leo's actually the father of 6 kids, so I'm super keen to share what he's learned through being a parent. So let's get right into the article and start optimizing your life. The Best Things I've Learned About Raising Children, Part 1, by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. I don't consider myself a parenting expert, but I have helped raise 6 kids, along with their mothers, and being a father has been one of the most rewarding things in my life. And while I'm not a perfect father, I think I'm pretty good at it, mostly because I absolutely love it. Eva and I also have some slightly non-conventional parenting ideas that might be useful to parents who are always looking for new ways of thinking about things. So, I'm going to share the best things I've learned about raising children, not because my way is the best, but because it's always helpful to have a discussion about parenting. A really important note. Much of the work of parenting, if not most, was done by my kids' moms, my wife Eva and my first 2 kids' mom. I can only take a little credit. Here are some of the best things I've learned. Number 1, your main job is just to love them. We have to take care of their basic needs, of course, but parents add all kinds of extra things on top of that and make the job really hard. Parenting is often not that complicated. Okay, taking care of basic needs is a lot of work. But the basic job of parenting is to love your kids. You don't need to shape them, to pressure them to be better, to make them do all kinds of activities to become the perfect kid. They're pretty perfect already. Just love them as they are and make sure they can feel that love. Number 2, don't hover. Let them fall sometimes. Parents these days tend to be overprotective, to be constantly trying to make sure every need is met and to be afraid of the smallest fall. Nah. Let them live. Let them have some independence. Let them go out and play without you. Let them fall down and scrape their knee. Let them fail at things. This is how they grow. Imagine if you sheltered kids from failure and pain and struggle their whole lives. They'd be totally unprepared for the adult world. I'm not saying you should never protect your kid, but the less you can do that without them dying, the better. Then help them cope with the failure or pain on their own, with you helping them to understand how they can do that. Be there for them, but only to the extent that you're helping them to learn to do it on their own. Number 3, harsh disciplinarian methods are more hurtful than helpful. When I first started parenting, I would yell and spank my kids and punish them for all their wrongdoings. It was totally hurtful and made them afraid of me. Yes, they would do everything I told them to do, but only because they were scared to do otherwise. And often they just hide the things they did so I wouldn't know. I've learned to mellow out over the years, to control my temper and be more compassionate. I'm not perfect, as I said, but now I see everything as an opportunity to educate them, an opportunity for them to grow, and a chance for me to just love them. If your parents were disciplinarian, that doesn't make it the way you need to do things. Number 4. Reading to them regularly is one of the best things I've ever done. I read to my kids most days. My wife and I have done that with all the kids. And it's a wonderful way to spend time with them, to foster a love for reading that will help them for the rest of their lives, and to explore imaginative new worlds together. My kids have found a love for reading on their own that came from cuddling with me and reading Dr. Seuss and Harry Potter, a series I've read 4 times over with different kids, and Narnia and Arabian Nights. Number 5. Let them direct their own learning. 4 of my kids are unschooled, but all of them have done learning projects on their own, and I encourage them to learn about whatever they're interested in. Many kids are so used to top-down learning where they're told what and when and how to learn that they don't know how to direct themselves. They'll have to learn as adults. But instead, we can encourage them to learn what they're interested in, help them with learning projects until they can do it on their own, and have them learn like adults do. Number 6. But give them fun challenges and encourage them to try new things. Self-directed learning is an incredible method, but sometimes they need inspiration. I like to encourage them to look things up, to dive deep into a topic that interests them, to learn about something they don't know yet will interest them. I try to talk about these things in positive ways that show how interesting I find them, and I found that sometimes that interest and curiosity are contagious. Other times I challenge them. Let's do a drawing challenge, a push-up challenge. Let's see if we can travel a month with only a backpack each, or memorize the capitals of all the states, or as many digits of pi as we can. Let's try to program a simple game. Kids and adults respond well to fun challenges. Number 7, teach them to do things on their own early. As soon as we could, we taught our kids to do things on their own. Tie their own shoes, brush their teeth, shower and dress themselves, make their own breakfast and lunch, wash and dry the dishes, clean the house, do their own laundry. For one thing, it made our job as parents easier if they were helping plan meals, do the grocery shopping, and cook dinners once a week. Soon, we didn't have to do very much for them. But just as importantly, we were teaching them self-sufficiency. They don't expect things to be done for them, and they learn that they can do anything for themselves that they want taken care of. Number 8, let them take charge of things or participate in work when you can. Along the same lines, we try to get them to take charge of things. For example, planning a trip. They do research, look for Airbnb apartments, plan train routes, book flights. When they get to adulthood, they already know how to do these things. They also know how to take responsibility. And number 9, try a democratic process of decision-making. When we decide where to eat out or what we should do this weekend, we have a discussion, each contribute ideas, and take a vote. This teaches them to take part in making decisions instead of having their lives decided for them. But it also teaches them to respect the opinions of others and that what they want is not the only thing that matters. We do similar things when planning for a trip, deciding whether we should move to a new city, and so on. Number 10, hear that in tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, The Best Things I've Learned About Raising Children by Babauta of ZenHabits.net. Thanks a ton to Leo, and with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of Leo's parenting tips with you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.